Two best friends named Sloane and Katie have very different personalities. Katie is the careful and cautious one who always thinks things through, while Sloane is more wild, outgoing, and eager to take risks. One day, both girls are extremely excited because they are about to go on a big trip together. Their plan is to spend 1 full month working in an organic farm called Ecofield so they can earn some money. After that, they want to travel to New York City and go on a huge shopping spree to celebrate. The next morning, Katie's uncle Jason arrives to pick them up. Jason works as a police officer, and because of that, he is very serious and protective, especially when it comes to Katie. He lets the girls stay the night at his house with his girlfriend before they leave for the farm the next day. Once they settle in at his place, Sloane comes up with a fun idea. She suggests that while they are in this town, they should use fake names instead of their real ones. Sloane chooses the name Heather for herself, and Katie decides to go by the name Ripley. The following day, Uncle Jason drives the girls to the bus station where they are supposed to catch their ride to the farm. Because he is very protective and careful, Jason puts a safety plan in place before leaving them. He tells Katie that she must send him a text message every day using a secret code word, so he knows she is safe. These code words must be sent in alphabetical order, and for today, the word is apple. After Jason leaves, the girls still have about an hour before their bus arrives, so they go to relax at a nearby cafe. While they're sitting there, 2 local guys notice them and soon come over to their table. The girls introduce themselves using their fake names, and the 2 guys say they are brothers named Jed and Lucas. After talking for a bit, Jed and Lucas offer to give them a ride to the farm. Katie feels unsure and nervous about the idea at first, but Sloane is excited and really wants to go with them. After some hesitation, Katie finally agrees, and the girls get into the brothers' blue truck. Not long after they leave, things start to feel strange. Jed drives right past the farm where the girls were supposed to work, which immediately makes both Katie and Sloane confused and nervous. Instead of stopping at the farm, they end up at the brothers' house. Their mother comes outside, greets them kindly, and invites them inside for tea before heading to the farm. While inside the house, Katie gets a text from Uncle Jason and replies with the agreed safe word to let him know everything seems fine. The girls then eat pie and drink tea that the mother serves them. This turns out to be a terrible mistake. Soon, their vision becomes blurry because someone has put drugs in their drinks. When they realize something is wrong, they try to escape, but Jed and Lucas catch them, knock them unconscious, and drag them back inside. When Katie and Sloane wake up the next day, they are completely terrified. They realize they are now chained up in the middle of the woods. Jed comes over and coldly explains that this is their new life now. They are given only a few basic things to survive, including some clothes, a bed, and a toilet. Later on, Jed's boss, a man named Boris, arrives. He takes Katie's phone and checks it to see if anyone might know where they are. He quickly figures out that the girls lied about their names and that Katie used a code word in her text. With no way to deny it, Katie and Sloane are forced to tell him that apple is their safety word. Later, the girls begin getting ready to wash up using makeshift outdoor showers. Suddenly, the town sheriff arrives with his gun drawn. It is revealed that this sheriff is completely corrupt and already knows about the human trafficking operation. He is there to assault one of the girls. After he finally leaves, Katie is left deeply traumatized, and Sloane tries her best to comfort her and help calm her down. Meanwhile, back in town, Uncle Jason becomes worried because Katie's most recent text contains the exact same safe word as the day before instead of the next one in order. Back in the woods, another customer arrives, a rough-looking man we'll call the scruffy guy. He chooses Sloane and takes her into a trailer, and it quickly becomes clear that he is extremely disturbed. At the same time, Uncle Jason finally contacts the farm where Katie and Sloane were supposed to work and learns that they never showed up. Now he knows for sure that something bad has happened, and he immediately begins searching for them. Things only grow worse for the girls when another customer arrives, and this one is even creepier than the last. Jed and Lucas cover the girls' heads as the man approaches. He is wearing a pig mask. He chooses Sloane and takes her into the trailer. When he is finished, Katie tries to comfort Sloane, but Sloane looks even more broken and traumatized than before. We do not see what happens inside the trailer, but it is clear that it was something truly horrible. Uncle Jason then goes to the sheriff's office and meets the same corrupt sheriff from earlier. During their talk, it is revealed that Jason is not just a regular police officer. He is actually an FBI agent. He tells the sheriff that he believes his niece has been kidnapped. Jason then makes a huge mistake by explaining exactly how he knows something is wrong, mentioning that Katie failed to send a new safe word in her text. Back in the woods, the sheriff clearly tells the kidnappers everything, including the fact that Katie's uncle is in the FBI and that she lied about the safety word. Boris does not want the FBI anywhere near his operation, so he orders Jed to kill both girls and get rid of their bodies. Katie secretly overhears this entire conversation. While all of this is happening, Uncle Jason returns to the cafe where he last saw the girls. He asks the barista if he remembers anything useful. The barista clearly remembers what kind of truck Katie and Sloan left in. The next day, Katie tells Sloan that the men are planning to kill them. Not long after that, the kidnappers return with the same scruffy guy from before and leave him behind to guard the girls. Katie sees this as her chance and begins pretending to flirt with him to get closer. When she's close enough, she suddenly attacks him and bites his throat, and finally he dies. The two girls then manage to break free from their chains. Soon after, the sheriff arrives, most likely planning to kill them. However, just as he steps out his car, Katie and Sloan steal the vehicle and drive off. They head straight into town and go to a hardware store to get supplies. At this point, they're done being victims. They ask the cashier if he knows Boris, the man who drives the blue truck, and the cashier tells them where he lives. At the same time, Uncle Jason continues investigating by going to the town's car insurance office. He makes up a story about hitting a blue truck and asks who the owner is. Boris eventually gets home, but Katie and Sloan are already there waiting for him. They attack him using tennis balls with nails stuck inside them, seriously injuring him. Now that the girls are in control, Boris begins to beg for his life and even offers them money to spare him. Right at that moment, Uncle Jason pulls up outside Boris's house. Inside the house, Katie and Sloan begin questioning Boris, demanding to know who the man in the pig mask really is and why he was involved. Boris refuses to answer them and stays completely silent. When he still will not talk, the girls grab a homemade spear they made earlier and stab him with it. The attack is serious and ends up killing Boris. By the time Uncle Jason finally makes it inside the house, Katie and Sloan are already gone. He finds Boris lying on the floor, badly hurt and slowly dying. Suddenly, Jason hears the sound of car engines starting outside. He quickly runs out of the house and sees Katie and Sloan driving away. At the same time, Jason rushes Boris to the hospital in a desperate attempt to save him. Later on, the sheriff tells Uncle Jason that Boris has died from his injuries. This makes Jason even more worried than before. He tries to call Katie's phone to check on her, but in that moment, he starts realizing that something is not right. He notices that the sheriff seems to know far too much about everything. The sheriff then pulls out his gun and aims it at Jason. Katie and Sloan arrive at a church, still searching for the man in the pig mask. Inside the church, they make a shocking discovery. They realize that the pig mask guy is actually the town's priest. Sloan gathers her courage and walks into the church to confront the man who assaulted her. With Katie's help, the two of them attack him and manage to take him down together. After that, Katie and Sloan get back into the truck and drive away. As they drive, they seem happy, relieved, and like they can finally breathe again. But when they stop the car and step out, it is revealed that the priest has been chained to the back of the truck the entire time. For their final revenge, they poured gasoline on him, then set him on fire, and finally he dies. While the girls seem to finally be taking control of their lives, Uncle Jason is now being held prisoner by the sheriff. Things become even worse when the sheriff captures two new young women and holds them as well. Just when it seems like there is no hope, Katie and Sloan arrive just in time. They manage to overpower the sheriff, tie him up, and torture him by forcing him to play a deadly game of Russian roulette. By this point, the girls seem a bit unhinged, but after everything they have been through, it is hard to blame them. The sheriff begins apologizing over and over again, begging for his life, until Katie finally kills him with a hard hit to the head, and finally, he dies. After that, Katie and Sloan free the two captive women and tell them to go and release Uncle Jason. When Jason is finally free, he asks who killed the sheriff. The women refuse to answer him because they are simply grateful that Katie and Sloan saved their lives. Next, Katie and Sloan go to Jed and Lucas' mother's house. They drug her the same way she once drugged them. After she passes out, they tie her up and take her down to the basement, where Jed is already tied up to a chair with tape over his mouth. The girls then beat Jed to death with baseball bats while forcing his mother to watch the entire thing, and finally he dies. After that, they take the mother to Lucas, who is also tied to a chair. Instead of killing him themselves, they untie him, hand him a bat, and order him to beat his own mother. When Lucas refuses to do it, the girls shoot him, and finally he dies. They then set up his body to make it look like he killed himself. Their plan is to make it seem like Lucas was responsible for all of the murders that happened. The mother, now completely terrified and broken, desperately offers the girls money and begs them to let her live. Katie ignores her begging, then uses it to kill the woman in a brutal way, and finally, she dies. Even Lamb's Have Teeth movie ends with Some Time Has Passed, where Uncle Jason picks up Katie and Sloane and drives them to the airport. The girls are smiling and excited as they head off together to New York City, and finally, they are leaving everything behind. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notification so you don't miss the latest recaps.